Welcome to another Pro Bike, and this is a very unique build. This is Leigh Johnson's Pro Bike Check. Like always, the heart of the bike. This is the pole stamina. It is 1,336 centimeters from center to center, which is a massive wheelbase. This is a large bike, but wow, that is large. The first thing that catches my eye with this build is that the frame. This thing is machined, so it's done by machining, and all these little lines are where it's been cut out of one big solid piece of aluminium. It's super unique. I do like it, and it's come from Finland. So a guy in Finland has designed this bike in two parts. Super interesting. I like it. Now, the one thing I like to point out is that this bike has 3 bottle cages, because everyone nowadays likes to put everything on their bike. So they've got 3 bottle cages. Doesn't mean that you're going to have to run 3 bottle cages, but what you can do is strap tools to your bike. So you've got a section right here. You can see that Leigh is running his water bottle. He's got a pump on this side here, and you've got some tools as well. And then underneath, you can run a water bottle or some more tools, depending on what you like. Now, this bike is 180 mil of travel, front and rear. And on the rear here, he's got a super deluxe Rockshox suspension setup, which is kind of set. Well, it is set off center, which is nice, and this is called the Evo Link system that they've come up with. Another unique feature is that nowadays everyone's gone with internal routed cabling. With this bike, they've made it super simple, and they've left it hanging on the outside, which is pretty cool, because if you're a race and something goes wrong with your brakes, you need to replace that whole brake hose. You can literally cut these zip ties and replace it straight away without all those fandangled bits going in there. You can do it super quick, simple, and potentially out on the trail. Okay, moving on to the drivetrain. I'm going to start with the crank arms here. This is a full carbon setup. These are SRAM XO at 170 mil of length of crank, and that's a 34 tooth chainring on the front. And then take a look at this. Moving to the back, look how gold this is. This is bling, man. This is the SRAM Eagle. This thing's 500% of climbing gears. This thing will climb anything like a mountain goat. Moving on to his pedals, these are the Mallet E's from Crank Brothers. They're clipped pedals, super cool platform there. I know you can see that his pins are quite screwed in quite a lot, so he doesn't potentially want to have those screws pointing up into his shoe. Super cool. Right, big bike means big wheels, so this thing's running on 29s. It's pretty huge rig for a chap like myself, but for Leigh, no problems whatsoever. Now, the wheel build on this bike is the Mavic Deemax wheel build. It's a downhill setup. It's super aggressive. It sounds insane. Listen to this. Whoa. Now, to keep him in control and in contact with the ground on the trail out there, he's running some Maxis Minion Dhf tires, and it's a very worn tire. He has been racing for 5 days out here in Andes Pacifico, so that's been well used. But inside that, he is running an insert, and that is the Huck Norris. And the tire exactly like the rear, but it's got a lot more grip. This is the Maxis Minion Dhf. And again, he's running a Huck Norris insert in the front as well. Now, moving on to the forks, these are the Rockshox Lyriks in cherry red, super cool. I like the black stanchions in here. Inside, I'm not too sure. We're gonna have to ask him that question, or what's inside that. Right, moving up the cockpit, well, this is pretty high. It's like nearly chest height to me, but he is a big bloke. And the great thing about the pole bikes, when you buy one of these things, is that it is integrated with one of these OneUp tools that goes into your stem. It's pretty cool. It's all inside there, so when you need it, you can just grab it when you're in a bit of a situation out on the trail. Now, his handlebars, these are Truvativ Descendant bars, full carbon, and that's a 40 mil stem on there as well, a Descendant as well to match the bars as combo. He's an enduro racer, so he's got his number board out on here from Andes Pacifico. His number 15, and then behind it is the Suunto watch strap holder. So basically, you can strap his watch there, and he can record his riding out on those sections of trail. Bar length 760, so that's his preferred length of bar, so he's cut them down from 800 to 760. Now, the brakes, these are the SRAM code brakes. 4-pop brake, super aggressive. He's running 203 on the front and 203 on the rear, so he has full braking power out there on those descents. Now, he's got his nice SRAM Eagle shifter here, and then he's got some great Ergon grips on the end just to keep it a little bit more comfortable out there on the trail. And to top off this beast of a bike is this Ergon saddle. It's the SME 30 saddle, and then this is the Bike Yoke Revive seat post. It's pretty big, it's 160 in length. He's running one of these Fidlock water bottles. It's pretty cool. It's just basically you pull out from the side. It's all done by magnets, and it's pretty cool because you don't have to do the same technique when you put it back. You just plonk it on there and it's locked in so it doesn't fall out on the trail. Another unique thing with this Pole Stamina bike is when you buy one, it comes with a nice bash card already built into the frame. That's that little black thing underneath here. Right, Lee, I got a few questions for your bike. Suspension setup. Do you run tokens within the rear and the front, and what pressures do you run?
So basically front and rear, no tokens, just an empty chamber. There's 170 psi in the rear and about 91 psi in the forks.
Nice, nice. Would you run any tokens within these shocks?
This is a new bike to me. This is the first week I've ridden it, and I think there are some things I need to play with and get it set up for racing properly. So we could maybe play with tokens and see what happens.
When's your next race? Which is it? What is it?
Next month, which is the first round of EWS in New Zealand.
So you've gone for 760 bars. How come you haven't gone for a wider bar, like 800 or something?
I find a lot of the trails I ride are quite narrow. Like the gaps in the trees aren't that big, so you just struggle even more with bigger bars. And being quite big as well, so there's no point like extending yourself even wider.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that works well for me.
Thank you very much, Lee, for showing us your bike. It's an absolute beast. It's the first time I've seen one in the flesh. I've not seen anywhere else, only on other websites. It's pretty cool. If you love this sort of stuff and you love this bike, give it a thumbs up, like. Don't forget to hit the globe to subscribe because you're missing out on some cool stuff. If you want to see another pro bike, click over here and we'll see you at the next one. See ya!